Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kevin Plays Disc Golf. Today we have a look at what discs I will be throwing in 2026. My name is Kevin, and I play disc golf. This is a slight offshoot of the standard What's in My Bag video. I'm going to start with what discs I would typically put in my bag for a course that I'm playing for the first time. These are the staples of what I carry, going on order of speed from slowest to highest. Axiom Pixel in Electron Soft Plastic, flight numbers 2400.5, 171 grams. This is my putting putter, and I use it for most throws under 100 feet. I carry two of these for the extra putting practice and paranoia of losing one. Millennium Omega Super Soft Putter, flight numbers 2300, 162 grams. This ancient putter is super flexible, and I'll use it in situations where I'm concerned about rollaways. It's also the disc that I had my longest throw-in ever with last year at hole 12 at Bellamy Park. Next is the Axiom Tempo in Neutron Plastic, flight numbers 4402.5, 168 grams. My wonderful, loving, supportive wife got this for me as a gift without really knowing what it was, and it has become my overstable disc of choice from 125 feet and in. Lightning Discs number 2 hookshot, 5.5-13, 170 grams. This second ancient disc that I still bag may have hit more trees than some of you have played rounds. It is tacoed, but when thrown on a slight anhyzer, it goes straight for about 150 feet and then makes a right angle turn. This old friend often comes in handy in getting around guardian trees near the green. Here we have the Mid Discs Lobster in Eternal Flex Plastic, 5.5-31, 179 grams. I picked this up late in 2025 and it very quickly earned its place in the understable approach slot. The Eternal Flex Plastic is also very resistant to skips and rollaways if that's something I'm concerned about. In my straight mid-range slot, I bag a Latitude 64 Claymore Optoplastic 5.5-11. I like the feel of the Optoplastic, and when searching for a newer replacement to my old straight 5-speed, a well-seasoned, meaning it has hit a lot of trees and is no longer overstable, Innova Glow Rock, this is one that felt the best in my hand compared to the other options. Now it's time to get extreme! This Discraft Extreme, 6314, 177 grams, is another oldie to the point that the tie-dye has faded significantly in the 25-ish years since I bought it. I think I bought it from the original course designer of the Pyramids out of the trunk of his car before Marshall Street Disc Golf or Maple Hill formally existed. I played the Pyramids several times in the 2000 to 2001 timeframe when courses were few and far between. For many years, this was my consistently longest disc as long as I was in an open field. Now I frequently use it as a utility disc for S-bends to get around obstacles from 150 to 200 feet. Next, we have the Latitude 64 River 77-11. This is the second disc I bag multiples of. I currently have a 174 gram in Optoplastic and a 171 gram in Gold Plastic. There's not much practical difference between them, but this is a disc that I use in a variety of ways, as whatever angle you release it on, it holds that angle. As primarily a right-handed forehand player, this is the disc that I put on anhyzer to turn left at a distance of 200 to 250 feet. After losing the only one I bagged at the time on hole 4 of Westy Acres, a 27-hole course, and the number of times later in the round where I thought to myself, hey, this would be a great time for my river. Oh. This is my fairway driver equivalent of being curled up on the couch in front of the fireplace with a cup of hot chocolate with extra whipped cream on a snowy day. Next, I have another disc that I bag two of, the MVB Terra, one in Electron Soft Plastic, 8.5-0.5, 2.5, 173 grams, and one in Neutron Plastic, 8.5-03, 173 grams. When I started to get back into disc golf a couple of years ago after a 5-ish year hiatus, the Electron Terra is one of the first discs I got. It is reliably overstable, and I feel very confident with the accuracy of it from 175 to 200 feet, where an overstable disc is required. The Neutron Terra is newer and is enough more overstable to be useful in situations where either slightly more distance or slightly more overstability is required. Unlike the River, these do actually have different uses for me. Next, we have the Innova Beast in DX plastic, 10.5-22, 167 grams. I found one of these with no name or number on a course in a location and condition where it had obviously been there for a long time, and I ended up using it as the disc I used for throws where I was concerned about losing a disc. It worked very well for that purpose until I lost it, so I decided to get a couple more. As it has decent distance, I can throw a hyzer flip with it, and at $8.99 from Infinite Discs or just about any other retailer, I don't feel bad losing it. This is my sacrificial disc. At Canberra Hole 11, a 350-ish hole that is a par 3 by the sign but par 4 by you disc and has a water carry from about 250 to 340 feet off the tee and thick brush into the swamp if you miss it long or right, I used this disc twice and put my second shot over the water to within about 20 feet of the basket for a 3 that I was very happy with. And now for the disc that I compare all other discs to. I carry 2 of these and have a third emergency spare. My lovely wife called me saying that she saw some disc golf discs where she was and asked if I wanted one. I asked what was there, and this was not too long after the MVP trail had been released in the summer of 2024, and there were a couple there. Fast forward to early summer of 2025, and that was the one that I lost in the swamp of hole 16 to the right of the fairway of the Hollow South. I ordered 2 more that night. The one that I lost was found the following weekend, and I drove the 45-ish minutes to pick it up the evening that it was found. I bagged 2 of these 10.5-11 discs in Neutron plastic, both at 168 grams. The trail at this weight turns out to be about the max limit of my arm speed, thrown with a wee bit of anhyzer to get a baby flex flight for my max distance throwing near dead straight. Most of the faster discs that I bag are significantly lighter enough to make a difference in helping the speed of my noodle arm. Next, I have the Ledgestone 2024 edition Discraft Vulture in ESP Light plastic, 10.502 at 160 grams. I had a heavier one in Jawbreaker Z Flex plastic that I lost, but I can throw this one farther, with this one being lighter weight, and still have the reliable fade at the end of the flight. I'll use this for anything over 225-ish feet where I need more fade than the trail. Innova Shrike Champion Plastic, 13.6-12, 157 grams. This is a bomber disc that I have a tendency to lose in odd places, including having one seemingly vanish in midair after grazing a branch at hole 5 at Tilton Park. I have one in Star Plastic as well, but the Champion Plastic feels better in my hand for forehands. When I get this disc right, like I did at hole 8 at Top of the Hill, it bombs and it feels really good. Prodigy D4 Spectrum Air 13.6-32, 157 grams. This disc bombs. I also haven't seen very many of these around, so it's not easy to replace. It's also not easy to control. This is the disc that I threw a U-disc measured 519 feet, by far the longest throw I have ever had, aided by a significant downhill and tailwind. The issue is that this was on a 336-foot hole. Finally, we have a Discraft Nuke in Jawbreaker Z Flex plastic, 13.5-13, 171 grams. I purchased this disc on sale as a misprint, figuring that I would use this to confirm that I don't have the arm speed to throw a full-weight nuke. I was correct, however I was very pleasantly surprised to discover that this has a lot of use as a utility disc for me. In situations where I need to go 225-ish feet where there's a significant uphill, and I either have the room to flex it or it needs to fade, this works remarkably well. I may not use it for a traditional nukes baby distance throw, but there are definitely shots where I think, yep, this is a nuke shape. That's 19 discs, most of which I don't see leaving my bag anytime soon. My bag holds 22-ish discs, so there's room for at least 3 more. Here are the contenders from purchases either toward the end of last season or that I've purchased since the end of my disc golf season. I don't like to play in the cold or snow, so there's an off season for me. Again, these will be from slowest to fastest. Castoplast Berg X K1 Soft Plastic 1112 173 grams. I've never thrown a Castoplast disc before, and I'm looking for an overstable approach putter to go around trees that will resist rollaways. As much as I like memes, this one I actually bought with a purpose in mind. The memes are a solid bonus though. Innova Mirage DX Plastic 34-30 175 grams. This was purchased late last season to fill the understable approach putter slot. I've thrown it a few times, but I don't really have an opinion on it yet. Discraft Buzz ESP Plastic 54-11 177 grams. Do I want a buzz? Do I not want a buzz? Do I want a buzz? Do I not want a buzz? After waffling on the situation and not ever having fully decided, my wife got this for me for my birthday. Post in the comments on your thoughts on a Belgian waffle with strawberries, whipped cream, and real maple syrup being the best breakfast food and philosophically indistinguishable from strawberry shortcake disguised as a meal. Trash Panda Extraterrestrial 2, 169 grams. As an engineering nerd, the variable width rim is neat, and there are some parts of my game that this may help, as this will inherently wobble and hide some slightly incorrect throws. That said, I haven't thrown it enough to feel confident enough in it to take the place of the Terra or Vulture. Doomsday Discs Oxymoron Clandestine Plastic 7-2-31 182 grams. I'm looking for the existential reflection that Doomsday's website implies may be a side effect. I have not thrown this yet, though I'm already contemplating what fragile realities I may discover and/or shatter. This would not be in my bag if I ever played in a tournament, as it's not PDGA legal, but it certainly is a thing, and a fun one at that. Innova Sidewinder DX Plastic 95-31 171 grams. This has been in and out of my bag, and though with a perfect throw I can't throw it further than the MVP trail, it has a lot of lateral movement in the flight path. Playing in New England, if I'm going to a course for the first time, this is a disc that more often than not there will be a disc that I have that is usable in more situations with more precision at a slight cost of distance. I've also recently purchased a Champion Sidewinder that may work as my roller. The DX disc has hit enough trees where it's not as round as I would like a roller to be. Lone Star Spur Alpha Plastic 9403 173 grams. This was a premium mystery surprise disc from a recent order I placed. I have no idea on this one, but based on the flight numbers, there may be some overlap with the two MVP Terras that I bagged. Innova Firebird Champion Plastic 9304 173 grams. I throw Tomahawks occasionally, but I don't really have a disc that I really feel dialed in with Tomahawks right now. In theory, the Firebird is a good Tomahawk disc. The initial feel is promising. We shall see. Axiom Virus Proton Plastic 95-3.51 159 grams. I'm looking for an understable fairway driver and/or roller that is more useful than the Sidewinder. This is a possibility. I haven't thrown this yet. This was also a purchase to see if I like the Proton Plastic as much as the Neutron. I do. Latitude 64 Sapphire Optoplastic 10-6-2 1.5 155 grams. I like the Optoplastic and I'm hoping that this flies like a trail, but at a lighter weight with my noodle arm. We shall see. Innova Mamba Champion Plastic 11-6-5 174 grams. I bought this with the intent of being a roller. Finding a reliable roller disc or two is one of the things I want to get figured out this year. Innova Katana Champion Metal Flake 13-5-33 175 grams. My wife got this for me for Christmas. It's pretty and has a George Bulldog stamp. I've not thrown a disc with anything close to these flight numbers, and I generally don't throw 170 plus gram discs at speeds over 10. I have no idea what this will do in my hands, which makes it interesting. And now for some wish list items. These may or may not ever exist. Post in the comments if you know of something similar that I may be missing. First off, I'm looking for a roller disc that I can throw consistent rollers with. The Champion Sidewinder, Virus, and Mamba may be candidates here. I want to find a disc that I can throw tomahawks with confidently and consistently. The Firebird may be this disc. I'd love for MVP to make a stock run of Proton Trails where I could get my hands on one in the 150-ish gram range. I don't generally like the idea of bagging special edition discs that are hard to replace, hence looking for a stock run. Something equivalent to the Omega Super Soft putter I have. I recently ordered one and it's not nearly as soft as my original Super Soft putter from eons ago. Maybe the DGA Gum Putt or Blowfly would work here. A soft overstable approach disc. Maybe a Prodigy A2 in the new 400 Ultra Soft plastic would work. Maybe an Elevation Discs Nimbus, as that's the name of the gray cat that's been on and off the top of the white shelving unit in this video. The softness of the plastic to reduce roll-away potential is one reason why the Mint Discs Lobster and the Eternal Soft Plastic went straight into my bag. I'm looking for an overstable equivalent. I'll probably pick up a basket in the spring, most likely an Axiom Pro or Axiom Pro HD. In addition to the obvious putting practice, there's a neat basket location where I could have a couple of different 250-ish foot uphill par 3s in my yard that would be good to figure out some of these discs on. That's a gander as to what I'm looking forward to throwing in 2026 once the weather warms up. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what other discs I should check out that I'm missing. Check out my other video linked here or the playlist of my disc golf courses of Vermont and New Hampshire linked in the description.